guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veda and today I'm here to do a review slash first impressions, 3 looks, 1 palette video for James Charles's new palette with Morphe called the Unleash Your Inner Artist palette. It looks a little something like this. Woo! It has 39 colors and it was $39. I think it's probably still sold out, but I don't know how long. I don't know if this is going to be a like a limited edition palette or if it's gonna be like forever. So I wanna say that it's gonna be like a forever palette with them, but I'm not 100% sure. I know you can still get the Jaclyn Hill palettes, like all of them, so I think they'll probably do the same thing with James. We'll see. It's a nice wide range of like every color that anybody could possibly ever want. I was really excited when when James started to post his like teaser pictures and stuff on Instagram and the little videos that he did. I was beyond excited. So I almost didn't buy it because I'm poor. But I ended up waking up early that morning and just panic purchasing it on a credit card. So I just didn't want it to like sell out and for me not to get it. So here we are. I'm more in debt and you guys get to watch this. Okay, so let's get into this. I think for the first look that I want to do, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. We'll do like a natural glam makeup because I want to try 3 different looks ranging from natural, going to work, daily wear till like full on Instagram glam, you know, like cut crease, lashes, all of that. So we'll see what I can come up with. I'm not really sure what to do for the middle one, but we'll play. We'll see where it goes. So I'm just gonna get into this. He said in his big long video, which I've watched several videos so far on this palette, and each one of them said that you should rewatch James Charles's video talking about each one of the shades in this palette, just so that you can get a better understanding of how to actually use this palette. From what I've seen, there are a couple like really difficult shades to work with. There's been a little bit of controversy as far as staining is concerned with one of the colors. However, I did a bunch of swatches myself on Instagram and I was able to get off every single color I tried, including the shade that that girl on Twitter said that stained her skin, and I didn't experience any staining on my arms, which with like the Lunar Beauty palette that Manny MUA did, I did get staining from that palette. So I don't really see staining as like a real issue. I know that with pressed pigments, there's a difference. Can't really call it an eyeshadow, and they have to call it a pressed pigment because of the certain dyes that they use in the colors, because it stains your skin. I don't know. I don't fucking, you can watch Raw Beauty Christie's video, or if you just YouTube this palette, you'll come up with a bunch of more informative reviews than I will be able to give you. However, just from the look of it, I think it's well worth $39. It's like $1 a shade. Like, I've got palettes that I've spent like $80 on that are not nearly this big. So all right, let's get on into this. So in his video, he did say that you should use a eyeshadow primer. So what I'm gonna do is I don't really use eyeshadow primers at all. So I think what I'll do is I'll use an eyeshadow primer on half of my face, so like on one eye and no eyeshadow primer on the other eye, and we'll see how it goes, if you really need an eyeshadow primer or not. I trust James when he says that you do need one. He's way better at this than I am, so I'm gonna trust him, but I also want to like just see what the difference would be and see if I really need to like go the extra step and put on a fucking eyeshadow primer that I never use. Like, I've literally had this eyeshadow primer for 5 years at least, and I still haven't gone through it. Like, that's how much I use it, and I mostly used it on like other people, so it's not even something I use for myself. So I will use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is the original one, nothing fancy. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze this out on my little fingers. I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid with my finger. I've applied eyeshadow primer on this eye and not on this eye. Okay, one thing I will say is that I don't like the fact that this doesn't come with a mirror. I know the Jaclyn Hill palette didn't come with a mirror either, but it's something that I would prefer to have. Although I don't necessarily see myself holding this palette in my hands while I'm using it, I would prefer to always have a mirror. But that would have brought the price up, so it's fine. It's really fine. I'll just use a different palette as a mirror. So for the first look, we'll do a natural sort of makeup look. I hate this, by the way. All of the colors are on this like stupid plastic sheet, and I fucking hate when people do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Canvas. It's just a light natural color, and I think it'll match my eyes pretty well. So I'm gonna do this eye first, and then we'll do this eye, and we'll see how it goes. I think for the other two looks, I'll probably just do one eye for each so that I'm not taking my makeup off and on and off and on and off and on. All right. First things first, canvas looks like it's doing its job. I think I'm gonna use the shade Code James next as a transition shade in my crease. I'm just gonna pick up a little blender brush. This is from Walmart from like fucking 12 years ago. I don't even know how long I've had this brush, since like high school at least. So I'm just gonna pick up Code James on my brush, tap her off, and dot it. And I'm going back and forth with windshield wiper motions. It does look like it's sticking a little bit, like right in here. I don't know if you can see that, but I just want to get like a good amount of use out of all of the shades. Okay, so that was Code James. Okay, from there I'm gonna go into the shade Mary, and I'm gonna put that in my like outer corner area. I'm just gonna tap that on and bring it a little into my crease, and I'm using very, very light pressure to apply this. I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just gonna go back and forth, very extremely feather light. I don't want to build that up too too darkly. And then I'm going to pick up Mary again, just on the other side of my brush. It's a little pencil brush on this side. And I'm going to take that underneath my eye, just back and forth. And I'm going to smoke that out quite a bit. I don't want it to be very dark at all. Okay, from there I'm going to go into the shade No Beans, and I'm just going to dap that on the very, very outer V of my eye, just very lightly. And I'm going to bring that a little bit underneath my eye as well, just focusing on the outer corner. So I'm just going to blend that out using the other side of my brush again. I'm going to bring that a little bit further into my crease using what's left on the pencil brush side of my brush. All right, so far the pigmentation is beautiful. It's blending out really nicely. We'll see what happens when we get into those crazier colors, but right now this looks pretty fucking good. I'm pretty happy with this. And I know you fucking cucks on the internet are gonna like yell at me because I'm not blending this beautifully, but I don't give a fuck. All right, what do I wanna do next? I think I'm gonna pick up the shade. All right, so I'm gonna pick up Face on my finger. It's like a champagne gold color. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. So anyways, I picked that up on my finger and I'm just gonna lightly tap that across my whole lid. It's a very champagne shade, but it's kind of like almost like a pale gold. Like there's a lot of yellow coming through for me, at least. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. It's still pretty. I just wish it was more like gray beige tone, you know? I'm just using my blending brush, the same one that I was using earlier, to just kind of blend the edges, soften them up a little bit. I feel like I need to darken up my crease. I'm gonna go in with the shade Mary again, and I'm just gonna bring that further into my crease to darken her up, because it's, in person it looks perfect, but on camera it looks really light. I'm gonna move these lights back a little bit. There we go. I feel like that's a little more accurate. Okay, so that's that eye. I think I'm gonna bring a dark shade across my lid really quickly. I'm just gonna find a little, this is a Morphe brush. I don't know if you can see it. This fucking camera is really annoying. There you go. There's our little Morphe brush. Anyways, it's a fucking Morphe brush. It's little. I'm gonna pick up the shade No Beans again, and I'm just gonna run that along my lash line. to darken her up. This is gonna act kind of like a little liner. I feel like that did nothing. Let's try that again. All right, I would leave the house looking like that. All right, let's go into the other side and see if we can recreate it. This side doesn't have any eye primer on it. This is a very simple look, so I don't think I'm gonna have that hard of a time recreating it on this side. Okay, so I'm going in with the shade Canvas all over my lid, just as a base. So I'm going in with Code James and I'm just running that along my crease. And then I'm gonna go in with Mary on the pencil brush side of my, actually I'm gonna go in with Mary on the blender brush side of my brush. I'm just gonna pack that along the outer third and then into my crease just to deepen that up. I'm gonna blend that out a little bit, that looks weird. And I'm gonna use the pencil brush side of my brush with that shade Mary on it, and I'm just gonna run that along my lower lash line. Same as the other eye. I'm gonna blend that bitch out. Camera is unforgiving with the blending. I'll just pray that looks okay. I'm gonna use Code James again, and I'm just gonna bring that further into the crease. I'm gonna go in with Mary on the pencil brush side of my brush and really just start to deepen that outer third up. And I'm gonna blend it out. I don't feel like you really need to be super precise with this. It's a very simple look. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the shade No Beans on the pencil brush side of my brush. I'm gonna bring that in the lower third of my eye and then into that upper V shape. So just a little V, and then I'm gonna blend that bitch out. Shocking. That went way quicker than the other eye. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with that shade Face one more time. I keep having to like look down and figure out what the fuck this shadow name is. Okay, just gonna bring Face all over my lid, just like the first eye. And now that that's all over my lid, I'm just gonna blend out the edges. I'm just gonna darken my lower area, my lower lash line up, using the shade Mary all along the bottom. I'm gonna do the other side as well. I just want it to be a little darker. I know you guys are like, bitch, what? This is supposed to be a work look. This is for me. Okay, I'm gonna use my tiny little Morphe brush again, and I'm going to go into the shade No Beans. No Beans. And I'm gonna drag that along my lash line just to darken the lash line up. Just like we did on the other one. And we're just gonna buff that out a little bit. All right, so there's both eyes with the eyeshadow done, I hope. Good enough. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you back out and I'm gonna throw on mascara. I'm not gonna put lashes on because that's like a fucking waste of my life. Okay, I'm just using the CoverGirl Flourish by Lash Blast mascara like I always do. Okay, there's the eye look all done. I think this would be great to go to the office in. I guess I could throw on a lip for it. I'm just gonna use I already have a little bit of a lip liner on, but I'm just gonna throw on the CoverGirl Exhibitionist lipstick in Trending, just because it's a nice, neutral, everyday kind of fall look. All right, good enough. So there's the first look all done. So far, I'm really enjoying the palette. It's pretty easy to use, pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. It's just fucking eyeshadow, so yeah, so far it's good. We'll see what the other two look give me. I'm gonna go ahead and go take this off, and I'll be right back to do it again. I forgot to mention, so while I'm taking this off, I'll just talk about it. I didn't notice a difference between my primed eyelid and my unprimed eyelid, so I'm not really sure if you really need an eye primer. But I guess we'll see on the more extreme looks, because this was a pretty easy eye look to do, so I'm not really sure if it's the best look to test and see if it matters if you wear an eye primer or not. So we'll just, I think I'll do the same thing, but I'm gonna do 2 different looks on either eye. So I'll do a more like date night glam look with like a winged liner and maybe like a pop of color. And then on this side, I'll do like a pretty extreme Instagram makeup look. And I think I'm just gonna use a primer on both sides. I don't wanna fuck with it. I want both of these eyes to turn out decent. So I'm nervous. But so far, I didn't really notice too crazy of a difference. If anything, I kind of like the unprimed side better. But that's just because I don't use primers. So I don't know. I trust James. If he says use an eye primer, use a fucking eye primer, my brothers. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so I went ahead and took off all the makeup from, oh, I should turn off my Alexa. Alexa, shut the fuck up. All right, anyways, so I'm back. I went ahead and took off the makeup from last time, and I put concealer back on my eyes and some of the eyeshadow primer from before, which is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And let's just get right into this. So for this next look, I'm gonna do this eye. Both of my eyes are primed. I'm just gonna do like a going out look. Like I'm being like a little edgy. I'm trying to like have a good time at night kind of thing. Like that's the vibe I'm going for. Like sexy, sultry, but still like fun. So I'll probably dip into like some of the brighter shades. I'm thinking about keeping it warm toned still. So like pinks and purples and reds. We'll see how that goes. All right, so the same time as last time, I'm just gonna go in with the shade Canvas all the way across my, I like putting down a layer of shadow just so that everything blends nicer and I don't have anything like catching on anything. I'm gonna go with Tune as my transition shade, which is kind of yellow, and I don't really care for that in my crease all that much, but it's what we got. Just sweeping that all through my crease. And then I know I already used this shade in the last look, but I'm gonna go into it again because I really like it. I'm gonna go into the shade Mary. It's like the what, I think Mary is the shade that I am drawn to. Like every time I look at it, I wanna use it. And I'm just putting this on the outer third of my eye, bring that into my crease just like last time. And I'm gonna bring that underneath my eye as well. Okay, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna go into the shade Love That. That shade Love That, which is a nice like warm purpley burgundy color. And I am just gonna press that into my outer crease. I'm gonna pack it on quite heavily, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on my inner corner. Let's create like a halo shape, shall we? I don't do this very often, so we'll see how this turns out. And I'm just gonna connect that shape above my crease. So I'm just gonna blend this. I'm gonna go into the shade Mary again and just use that to really blend this color out. I want it to be nice and soft. I feel like I'm really having to work at this color to get it to blend out. Like it kind of looks a little crazy. I'm gonna go into that shade Mary again a little heavier, and I'm just gonna pack that all the way around this whole shape so that I get a better blend. And I'm gonna extend it kind of high above my crease because my eyes are so foldy. All right, I'm gonna go back into Artistry on the pencil side of my brush and just really pack all of that. And just bringing that Artistry shade all the way across again. I'm just kind of dotting it. I don't need it to be super precise because I want to blend it out and make it super soft. I'm going to bring that underneath my eye as well. Whatever's left on my brush. And I'm going to dip into Mary again and just blend that out. Make it real smoky. It's just going to look a little crazy for a while. Trust the process. Looking kind of crazy. Okay, let's like fix this up a little bit, shall we? I'm going to go into the shade Canvas, and I'm just going to bring that on top just to soften everything we just did because it's looking a little crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade Escape, very dark purple, and I'm just packing that onto my brush. And I'm just gonna dot that across my outer. I'm just gonna darken up everything. I'm gonna bring that underneath just a bit. This is supposed to be like some simple going out look. Sorry, bitch. This is a giant Morphe brush. Don't know what it is, but it's big. And I'm just going over everything. I don't have any shadow on it, so I'm just kind of like seeing if I can calm it down a little bit. I'm gonna go in with the shade Single and see if I can just blend all these colors together a little bit better. I'm having a very difficult time blending this, which is probably user error. That's looking a little better. It's looking more normal, right? Yeah, that color Single really helped. I'm gonna pick up more of that on my brush. Bring it over everything. I'm gonna pick up that clean giant Morphe brush again, and I'm just gonna see if I can lighten some shit up on the intersection. So I'm gonna go into the shade Shook, which is a like kind of a purplish, reddish shimmer shade. And I'm gonna pick it up with this brush. It's from Morphe. I'm not sure what it's called. It doesn't have a number on it because I got it in like a pack. I'm gonna pick up that shade Shook, and I'm gonna like bring that closer to my inner, closer to that center. See if we can blend all of that into the center there. I think I'm gonna pick that up with my finger just to see if it does any better. So that's what she's looking like. I'm gonna blend those edges just a little bit with that same brush. All right, from here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to attempt a little halo cut crease. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm not very good at them, but let's play, let's see. I'm just gonna pick up some concealer on this little brush, little baby flat brush, and some concealer. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and let's see if I fuck this up. I'm just gonna pat it along the center of my lid. I'm just gonna kind of go in like a little half moon shape, and I'm just gonna use my finger to kind of like just pat that down, and then I'm gonna grab that the shade Shook one more time on that little packer brush again, just to blend the edges of that out a little bit so it's not as harsh. I feel like I probably ruined this, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up tiny little baby brush, just a tiny little like angled flat brush, and I'm gonna pick up the shade Ring Light, and I'm just gonna really pack it into that brush. And I'm gonna bring that down the center where we placed that concealer. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I'm just kind of blending that into that I'm Shook shade. I guess it's just called Shook, not I'm Shook. I'm just gonna go back into my other brush that has the Shook shade on it. I'm just gonna blend that a little bit more. So that's what we're working with. I think I'm gonna try to deepen up my outer area a little bit more with that shade Escape. I just want it to be a little darker. And I'm gonna go into the shade Love That. I'm gonna bring that on my inner corner. Kind of freshen that color up. We did a lot of blending. I'm gonna bring that on my lower lash line as well. I'm gonna go in with that shade Ring Light again just to soften that a little bit. That's what we're looking like. A little grungy. I'm gonna take that Ring Light shade again. It's on the same brush that we used. I'm gonna pack it onto that fucking brush. Tap off just a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring that into my inner corner. I'm gonna really pack that on there. I want it to be nice and bright. I'm gonna throw a winged liner on this. I'm gonna put some mascara on, and then I'll show you the final eye. Overall, I don't think I'm very happy with this. I don't like my eye shape, and I don't think that it worked well with this kind of style look. So there it is zoomed out. I'm still wearing the same lipstick from earlier. Overall, I don't know. The palette itself is great. I'm having a great time with the palette. I chose a weird look to do for this because I really like went a little ham with all the crazy colors. I like it in person. I hate it on camera. So hopefully when I'm editing this, I will actually like it because I actually do really like the look in person, but it looks like a fucking slop mess on the camera. I think this would be really cool with some lashes. I think I'd go out in this. I think I'd throw some glitter on it maybe, but yeah. Overall, I did have a little bit of problems blending out the colors, just because I think I'm still getting used to this palette. I know that there are some tricky shades, and I think I was using a couple of those tricky shades, like the dark purples and stuff. But overall, they blended out pretty good. I really like that shade Spotlight, and I really like the shade Mary, of course. And also Love That. Love That's a very pretty color. I'll show you a little swatchy of it, shall we? That's Mary. Pretty. I'm sorry, that's not Mary. That is Love That. And then Mary is this color. So yeah, it's very pretty. And then let's do Spotlight too while we're at it. Spotlight, which I think is just a very pretty, nice highlight. I'm glad that there's a highlight that's light enough for me because I'm a pale ass ghost. All right, moving on. Let's do this other eye. This side, so I know that I said I was gonna do like a going out eye and then I was gonna do like a full Instagram glam crazy eye. Kind of went there with this. Kind of went a little ham there. Probably gonna do just another crazy look on this side. I know that this isn't a look that a lot of people will go out of their house wearing, but then again, I don't think that this palette is a palette that most people would use all of the colors and leave their house, you know? Let's see if we can do some sort of like yellow, green, and blue look. All right, so let's get into this. I'm gonna do some kind of like warm yellowy, greeny, blue colored thing. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Tune, which is a bright yellowy it's like a yellow transition color, so it's not super bright, but it is. I used it on my last look. You've seen it. I'm just gonna bring that into my crease. I'm using a Morphe brush. I don't know what it's called. It looks like this. Okay, from there, I think I'm gonna go into the bright yellow shade called B. I'm just gonna pack that on my brush. And I'm gonna bring that into my outer corner and all through my crease. That whole like really outer third of my eye, I think. Let's just go ham. Let's put that everywhere. It's a really nice yellow color. I was looking for a good yellow color like a couple months ago. I'm still not happy with this side, and so I like keep wanting to fuck with it. But I think it's just my eye shape. I think it's just like I like it when I go like that. I don't know, it's not my favorite. Okay, just gonna keep building up that B shade. And then I think while I'm at it, I'm just gonna fucking put Playground. I'm gonna take Playground and I'm gonna put that all along my lower lash line, which I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna fuck with it. That's all along my lower lash line. And I'm kind of blending the two colors together right there. All right, from there, I think I'm gonna take the shade Social Blade, which is green, which I feel like it should be red. I know that he wants a Social Blade to be in the green, but Social Blade's whole entire website is red, so like it doesn't make sense for me to make a shade called Social Blade that's green when green is only used in like a very small portion of their website. Taking Social Blade all along my outer crease. We're just going for it. This is like a rainbow ass fucking color look thing. It's blending nicely. Pigmentation's decent. I'm gonna bring that along my lower lash line as well. Really go for it. Why not? Just gonna take a big blending brush and go over all those edges. I have no product on this. So far I haven't gotten a lot of fallout on either one of these. I'm gonna take the shade Daddy, probably my favorite name, and I'm gonna just darken that green up in the center of it. And I'm gonna flip my brush over to the little blendy side and blend that out. Okay, I'm gonna take the color Acapella, which is this dark navy blue shade, and I'm gonna dot that along my lash line, and I'm also gonna bring it underneath my eye. I think I'm gonna take the shade no, I keep wanting to say Brother, but I haven't even touched Brother. Okay, I'm gonna take the shade Hello, which looks like this, and I'm gonna take that all along my lid. Make her an icy bitch. And then I'm gonna take Social Blade again, and I'm really gonna take that throughout my crease a little bit further. I really want to darken up my outer V, so I think I'm gonna take a tiny little pencil brush, and I'm gonna take the black shade, which is Spooky, and I'm gonna bring that into my outer. Ooh, I'm getting fallout. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Like, it's not very dark. I'm gonna pick up more. There we go. That's better. Maybe I should do that on this side too. I'm gonna fuck with it because I'm not happy with this. Oh, that black shade makes everything better. That's a little better. Just a little. It's not great. Still not great. I'm gonna touch up that Spotlight shade. I don't know. Still not my favorite look. Anyways, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this side. I'm gonna go back in with Social Blade on the outer corner where all that green is, and where I just placed that black, and I'm just gonna really buff it in. And I'm gonna go in with Daddy on the same brush. Really packed it on there. Try to deepen up this whole outer area. I'm getting quite a good amount of fallout. I'm gonna go in with a blending brush. I'm gonna pick up the color B on my blending brush and really go over all of that green. I'm gonna brighten it back up. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the shade Hello on a little brush. Just gonna tap that all over my lid again, just to kind of blend that color into that green and into the yellow up there. I want more darkness in that outer corner. Daddy again, and I'm gonna just bring that shade higher up, and I'm gonna blend that out with Social Blade. We went real high. Picking up B again, pretty yellow, and putting that all over the place. I'm having a hard time blending. Like right in here, you see it's kind of like patchy. Can't tell if it's user error because I'm not good at eyeshadow, but for what it's worth, it's not blending well. This area seems to be blending great. I'm gonna take Tune across the top. All right, let's play with the lower lash line some more. I'm gonna take the shade Acapella and I'm gonna mix it in with Cola, why is Cola blue? It's probably for somebody, I can't remember. I'm running that along my lower lash line, and I'm kind of extending it out in a wing. I'm gonna go in with the shade Hello, and I'm just gonna bring that in on the inner corner and blend everything out. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Cola, and I'm just gonna bring that along my lower lash line a little more. most on the outer edge because I want to deepen that up. And I'm going to bring that into my outer crease above. Highly recommend you tap these off because I'm getting a bunch of fallout. Okay, so I'm just going to use a blending brush and just go over the edges of everything. I normally never do my eyes first, but I think with this palette, especially if you go in with those crazy dark colors, it might be something worth trying. So I wasn't gonna cut my crease, but I think I'm gonna cut my crease. I'm gonna go in with a social blade a little bit more, just to bring that green farther down. I already applied the shade Hello right here, but I think I'm gonna go in with the concealer and just try to cut it out and then build more on top of it. I don't know why. I just want it to be a little more sister snatched. That's my first sister reference in this entire video. I was doing it all last night to my boyfriend when I got the palette in the mail and when I was doing swatches on Instagram. He was so annoyed with me. Okay, we're gonna take sister shape tape on the back of my hand and sister snatch that cut crease. Okay, so I think in order to do a cut crease, somebody told me once that you need to like apply some and then look up, and wherever it goes, that's where your cut crease needs to go. I've only done it like a couple times, so this is still like a new technique for me, so I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at anything. I'm just doing my best. I'm just doing this because I like it. Not because I need to be perfect. I will never be Nikki Tutorials or Jaclyn Hill, and I'm okay with that. It would help if I had nice brushes. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna pat over that with my finger, just to kind of blend those edges a little bit. All right, and I'm gonna go in on this side of my eye with the shade Cola, and I'm just gonna blend that in a little bit so that there's not a harsh crazy line. Okay, from there I'm gonna go in with a small packer brush somewhere if I can find one. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the shade Hello again, and I'm gonna sister pack that all over my lid. Right where we applied all that concealer. It's looking better than the Halo cut crease. Is that a Halo cut crease? I don't know. I don't know. It's like a spotlight Halo cut. I don't know. It's something Raw Beauty Christie does all the time. And I reference Raw Beauty Christie at least 8 times in every video. She's the reason why I know how to do a cut crease, by the way. I barely know how to do a cut crease, but I wouldn't know how to do anything if it wasn't for Raw Beauty Christie. Okay, I'm going in with that B color again, and I'm going to try to lightly blend all of this green out a little bit more. I just want it to be sister softer. Now that I'm on the sister train, I cannot be stopped. I wasn't on the sister train this entire time, and now I'm on the sister train. I'm going in with the shade Acapella one more time, just to deepen up the outer corner, to blend everything a little bit better. All right, I think I'm gonna put a wing on this, and then I'm gonna put mascara on, and then I'm gonna put lashes, and then we'll see what it looks like. Hopefully lashes save this eye because I don't like this eye. I am gonna go into Sister Ring Light. I was gonna say Spotlight, it's Ring Light. I need to stop with the sister things. I'm not doing it right anymore. I'm gonna go in with the shade Ring Light. I'm gonna pop it in on my inner corner. I'm gonna highlight my brow bone too. This is a really pretty shade. I really like this shade a lot. And down the center, just to brighten that up again. All right, guys, I am complete. I've got lashes on. I'm still wearing the same lipstick from earlier. I think we don't really need to focus on the lipstick. It's not about that. What was that voice? Okay, so my thoughts overall, I'll zoom you guys in so you can see my final look. Lashes definitely helped. Okay, so this is this side, and then this side. Don't look at my skin, I got bad skin. Don't look at it. Also, I have permanent indentations from my glasses. But anyways, that's the look we created for the blue side. I like the blue side more, though with lashes, I really like I like this side a lot more. I don't really like it, but I do think it looks. All right, so overall my thoughts. Do I think it's worth $39? Absolutely, I think that's cheap for a palette, especially one with this many pigments in it. And like you can use this palette for the rest of your life and probably never go through every single one of the colors. It's obviously worth $39. That's really not that much money, and that's coming from somebody who makes basically nothing. I am poor. You should see my fridge right now. There's like nothing in it, and I don't think that this is a waste of money at all. However, I do have some like annoying little complaints about it. I cannot stand the fact that Morphe doesn't just print the names on the palettes. Like, I know that they use the same fucking palettes for everything, but like, this is the worst. I'm going to lose this. I'm never gonna remember which fucking shade is which. Like, I'll probably just take like a mini Sharpie and like write it either on the back or wherever. Yeah, I got room on the back. They got room. They could have like even put them on the back. What the fuck? Overall, you have plenty of colors there to come up with any single fucking look that you could think of. It's a good palette. I feel like there's not that much more to say other than like, yeah, this is a great palette. I think it's worth the money. I think James did a fantastic job and he should be super proud of himself. I did have a couple problems blending some of the shades, but I think that the more I use this palette, the more I'm gonna get used to like how I'm supposed to actually use this palette. I think that, especially with the first look, I was kind of like flailing a little bit. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I think that the more I use this palette, the more I'm gonna understand how to use the actual pigments in it and how to like actually create cohesive good looks out of it without looking rashy. I will say I felt like this eye, it was like tingling a little bit while I was like waiting for my camera to charge, so I'm not really sure if that's like from the palette or if that's just my eyes. I don't know. And also like my eyes just feel really tired right now, and again, I think that's just my life, but I feel like there's never that much to actually say. It's just a makeup palette. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing with this palette in the future. I'm sure that there are going to be tons of looks on my Instagram using this palette. I think I like it even more than I liked the Life's a Drag palette, and I think that James is a much better person than Manny, so you should support him over Manny. I think that these like influencer collabs that Morphe's been doing are like a brilliant business plan for them, because these people are huge and they sell out all these palettes every single time they do one. So they're doing great. James is doing great. I wish I had a Tesla. I also wish that I would have started this when he started this, because I feel like my life would be a lot better if I would have, like, I'm 25, so the fact that he's doing all of this at 19 is just like wild to me. Like, when I was 19, I was still like getting blackout drunk and not remembering where I was in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so surprised with how focused, driven, passionate, and talented James Charles is. Like, he's insane. He's absolutely fucking insane. And though I might think that like some of the things he does are like super annoying, I think that as a business person and as just, I mean, for first of all, he was like the first male person to be a cover girl, which is wild. And he was, what, like 18? Like, again, wild. This guy is going some really far play. Like, I'm really excited to see where he goes in his life, because there's nobody else like him in the entire makeup industry. Like, he's so young, he's a man doing makeup, and I'm just really excited to see where he goes. And to see how he progresses as he gets older. We'll see if all of this fame goes to his head or not. Which I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he's a really sweet person. And I've seen every single one of his videos and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, do I think that this James Charles Unleash Your Inner Artist palette with Morphe is worth it? Absolutely. I would recommend this to anybody. I do think that it's not for the everyday average person. Let me just say that. I think that this is going to be for the person who's really into makeup, is actually going to use all of these colors, and is supportive of James, obviously, and just, I mean, I do think that every person who buys this palette will get something out of it, but I'm not so sure that the everyday average person is going to actually spend the time using each one of the colors, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see like Susie Lou Jane walking out of Safeway rocking all of these colors, you know what I mean? But I do really like the option of having like those everyday normal colors with these wildly crazy ridiculous colors. I really appreciate having a palette like this. I have been in the market for a palette just like I was really excited about the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette, and I still use that palette regularly. It's just like there's some things that I don't like about it. This one I think has solved all of those problems for me. I do think that some of the shimmer shades were just a little bit not as like punchy as I wanted them to be, but overall I'm very pleased. If you're interested in getting this palette, you should absolutely do it at the next available opportunity to buy it, because it's going to sell out ridiculous, like continuously. Like they keep putting out more and it keeps just selling out immediately. So if you want it, you should get on it. If you're kind of like sitting on the fence, I would wait till you can test it in stores. But yeah, that's my final thoughts. I think it's great. All right, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I've been filming for way too long. This video is gonna be so long, oh my god. And my camera's about to die, so we'll just wrap this right up. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for coming back to my channel, supporting me. I just lost a nail, god damn it. And yeah, you should subscribe if you haven't already. Please like my videos so that I know that you like these kind of videos. I enjoyed doing this 3 looks 1 palette thing. However, I think this video is gonna be like so fucking long and hard to edit. So especially if you like these kind of videos, hit that like button just so that I know I'm not wasting my time doing all of this. Anyways, and we're really close to 100 subscribers, which is really exciting. And I know that sounds like nothing, but I'm really excited about it. So you should fucking subscribe. Okay, and you can follow me at Scandinative everywhere. And yeah, check out my other videos if you like me. Give me validation. Okay, bye.